Welcome to Chiaroscuro, the Art of Living Life. This reading is going to be a very chiaroscuro. This is the name of the channel, after all. We're going to do a little reading to explore what darkness you may be experiencing right now, what light you may be experiencing right now, and then kind of what's the purpose of that. How do you integrate the two into the masterpiece of your life, into basically chiaroscuro. And then kind of the overall purpose. We'll pick a oracle card for the overall purpose of the point of all of this. So we've got 4 different decks to choose from. Deck number 1 is this kind of turquoise stone. Make sure to watch at the end of the intro. There's going to be a short little picture up close of all of these, so maybe you can see the stones a little bit better. Deck number 2, these are all turquoise, aquamarine-ish, so this one's just unpolished. Deck number 3, this is the stone for deck number 3, and deck number 4. So if you are drawn to any of those stones or just any of these decks, that will be the reading for you. There will be timestamps listed in the description below, so that if you've been here before, you can fast forward to your reading. If you've not been here before, thank you for watching, and just keep in mind these readings are not necessarily time specific, meaning that if you were drawn to this particular video at any time, this can be applicable to you, whether it's I made it 6 months ago or a year ago or whatever. If you were drawn to click, then the message will be applicable to you. In addition, if there's multiple energies within a reading, keep in mind that the energies could be vice versa. So if I'm saying this could be you, and then there's another person and they're doing this, it could be vice versa. You could be doing that, and just take it how it resonates with you. However the story feels. And then these are general readings, so if it doesn't resonate, you may just not be part of the group of energy that I was picking up on when I was pulling these cards. So just take what resonates, and I hope you like the reading. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. I love the support for my channel. Thank you so much to everybody out there who is supporting me. And we're going to move on to deck number 1. If you chose deck number 1 for your reading, which is the first polished, smallest stone, actually, it's really cool. I don't know if my camera's focusing on it, but I guess this light's not the best. It's cool, just take my word for it. They're all cool, actually, in their own different way. But this is the reading for you on what light is going on in your life, what dark is going on, the integration of both of them, and kind of the purpose of the whole situation. So let's see first what light is going on. Interesting. With regards to the light, there's a beneficial partnership going for you right now. This could be love, this could be business. I feel for some of you this may be love, but I'm not getting 100% love on this. So for some of you that are watching, this could also be a business relationship. This could be a friendship, some kind of partnership of 2 people on similar ground. Excuse me, I just inhaled some of that heat from that candle. Woo! I don't know what that did to my throat, but that was weird. I needed some water. Oh, I leaned in too close. Yes, so some kind of partnership. I think you may be hesitating to take it in a way, perhaps due to maybe being tired or exhausted, but you've recently gotten real about what you want. There may have been a little bit of indecision, but I think things are becoming more clear for you about what you want in life and how to achieve your dreams, so to speak. I think perhaps the dream hasn't worked out in the past. You weren't at the level you're at now. Like, you thought you knew what you wanted, but you were viewing this particular thing, this particular relationship, this particular, maybe how you view love or friendships or business partnerships, the way you were viewing it before was probably a little bit immature, but you may have made some mistakes in the past, but you're kind of learning from that, I think, and as a result, it's really honed your focus in on what you want. But because you've kind of gone through those ups and downs, I think you're a little bit hesitant to engage with another person. However, there is the potential for a really nice partnership. You may be hesitating to take it. If you're hesitating to take it because you need to take care of yourself, or you need to do some personal self-work, you need some time by yourself to do what you need to do, that's okay. There's no need to rush this relationship, partnership, whatever it may be. If you need to get you right before you can engage in it, that's 100% okay. If this is the right relationship, and if it is as harmonious seeming as the cards are suggesting, you can take the time you need and it will still be there. So, you've learned from the past, you've gotten more sure about what you want, more real, instead of looking around and being stuck in dreamland. You're actually getting to the place where you want to act on what you want. You want to act on your dreams. You want to start building that in your life. So that's a really nice place to be. The dark in your life. There's conflict for sure. Interesting. There is a change you are resisting. It's the conflict you are experiencing right now in your life, the uncomfortable situations, any fighting, any disharmony, any ways in which you are dissatisfied, I've got to break it to you, are of your own creation. They're of your own manifestation. The actions that you took, or the focus that you had, maybe in the past or even currently, has kind of brought this situation around. And there's some fighting. It doesn't seem like in this particular situation that there is an answer. It's just kind of people ego driven. Everyone wants to win. They're not about what's right or working it out or finding a middle ground. Whatever dark situation you're in is very ego driven and very, very conflicting, and could be very vicious, especially verbally. But I think that this was something that you created, and in a way you created this through indecision. I mentioned that before. Perhaps you had been indecisive in the past, and indecision, it has led to you not making the changes that were necessary, and as a result now there's conflict. It's kind of like you tried to stall your evolution a little bit. You didn't want to engage in the uncomfortable things. You didn't want to make the changes that you needed to, and so as a result, you waited. You didn't engage in the rebirth process, and now the universe is just kind of dishing you, as a result, more and more and more conflict, trying to get you out of this state of kind of waiting around. Even though it's good for you in a way, I think maybe that it's also not. Because there's a difference between taking time for yourself in order to self-reflect or heal, but it's also different, or to take the time to self-reflect and to heal, but also if you're just letting things pass you by and you're not actually making changes necessary that you've thought of in that self-reflection. It's like you go home and you realize, oh, maybe this job isn't right for me, but I'm just going to stick it out. It's all right. I'm just going to stick it out. But deep down inside, you realized that it wasn't working for you anymore. So and then as you stay and resentment builds and you're not making the change, and you manifest more and more and more conflict because you don't want to be there. There's a difference between just whew, maybe I'm going to take a couple personal days because the job's getting overwhelming, need to ground myself, take some time for myself, and then I'm going to go back into it rejuvenated. Versus I'm just gonna put up with it. You know, I know I need a change, but I'm just not gonna do anything about it. That's kind of what that feels like here. There's a fine I'm interested to see the remaining cards, because it seems that there's this fine balance you're teetering on, this ledge you're teetering on, between realizing your dreams and kind of figuring out the way you want to move forward in what you want, kind of having leveled up and learned those lessons and now implementing what you've learned at the higher level. You've got that going on for you, but then at the same time there's something that you're still holding on to. You've leveled up past, but you won't let it go. I don't know if that's making sense, because in a way you're kind of supposed to be not doing it. You're getting ready to do something, but you're kind of not. But then at the same time, because this is what I'm struggling to articulate. You know, you have in the light that it's okay to rest in a way. You know, you've been through a lot. Take some time to heal and rejuvenate. At the same time, you've resisted a change. You've resisted the rebirth. So watch yourself. When you level up, do you then, with that higher level of knowledge, make the changes to live at a higher plane, or do you just have the knowledge and sit there and don't make any moves? That's the debate that I am seeing here, where there's a very fine line between the light and the dark right here. Fine line. Interesting that they can seem so close together. All right. What's the integration? Integration of both. Oh, 5 of Swords again. Boom, boom. 2 5 of Swords. So there's an opportunity. It feels like you're 2 in your head. There's an opportunity for you to break out of a self-imposed restriction. But you're thinking yourself out of it. You know, perhaps even here, this conflict maybe is within you on how to manifest the change that you want. This is all overthinking here. We've got 2 5s. There's a change and death reversed. So change is often uncomfortable. You know, I'm seeing resistance to change. You have gained something. You have leveled up. There is a new opportunity. There is something hovering around you. It has to do with this 2 of Cups, a partnership, a friendship, a relationship, some kind of ship that is actually really beneficial for you right now, and is helping generate a new opportunity. You may not be able to see that it's there at the moment, because there's so much conflict. You're so in your head that it's hard for you to see out. And at one point, that may have been necessary. May have been necessary for you to retreat inside to be able to heal yourself. But at some point, you're healed, and you continue to do that, and you're no longer moving forward. You're no longer implementing what you've learned in order to level up your life. Because you don't just level up yourself, you have to level up your life too. Your life will respond to your vibration. So if you know better and you still keep operating down here because you're too afraid to make the changes, you're creating some conflict for yourself. Internally, externally, there's gonna be stuff happening because the universe is really trying to propel you to that next level that you are resisting going to. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is about something new is will be made clear to you, like a veil is being lifted. I think you are an overthinker. I think your thoughts in your head at this point are clouding where you need to go. So the overall lesson of all of this, I think that this is tied into overthinking, because once you figure out how to rein in that overthinking, or at least just stop. Stop engaging in the conflict inside yourself and externally. Stop doing it, because once you address this conflict and you see it for what it is, that though it's uncomfortable, there's actually an opportunity in it to set you free, to level you up, to get you out of the way your mind has been restricting you. There is this freedom that is coming. Perhaps you're viewing a particular relationship in your life that's actually beneficial as something that's not, because you're too caught up in your mind and you can't see it for what it is. Once you get that mind under control, the confusion disappears and you are able to see very clearly a way forward that was never previously available to you. Something new, either a new partnership, a new perspective, a new level of something. And then the transformation, the death reversed, which you are fighting, which is making discomfort. You're fighting a change. You're fighting the end of something, but at the same time fighting the rebirth of the birth of something new. You're just staying in one place. Something new wants to come to you. The only thing in your way at this point is you. It's not other people. It's not anything else. It's your perspective and your well, I'm blanking on the word. I just had it. Gah! But anyway, new perspective. This could even be a new location. This could be new. Maybe you're moving. Just something new. A new start. New perspective. Feeling refreshed, rejuvenated. That's the whole point of all of this. This is the ultimate point of all this light and all this dark and all this in between. Is to level up your perspective. And right now, the way that you are viewing things is actually limiting you. It's restricting you. And you're doing it to yourself. You are creating all of this discomfort. It is your creation. By resisting change and continuing to engage in the conflict. You don't need to. In the light area over here, you have figured out through trial and error, through maybe some difficulties, what you want. And now there's opportunity. 2 opportunity cards here. You've got 2 opportunity cards of something new, of a new direction, and starting to implement your dreams. It's amazing. But you're stalling. You can't expect other people to do it for you. Just throwing that out there. I don't think this is for all of you, but I think some of you may resonate with this, that perhaps you are waiting because you expect somebody to come along and help you. Maybe there's a partner that can light the fire. I think you gotta get out of this. You don't need a partner. It's going to be fun to have one, but you already have the stuff that you need. Believe it or not, even in the darkness, you are real good at manifesting this chaos for yourself right now. Why don't you redirect that energy into actually manifesting some good stuff? Because it seems you got some power. You just aren't using it for yourself, maybe. Better at using it to stir up shit for other people. That sounded so harsh, but I don't know where that came from. Anyway, this is basically a perspective check. Things are good. You're coming out of this difficult period. It doesn't need to be like this anymore. You're coming out of it, but maybe you're so used to it being difficult that you're resisting the change into something that's easier. You're used to operating at that lower level, but you know better now. It's time to level it up. So you've got all this wonderful light. You've got all this wonderful contrast. Bring it all together, and what do you get? Opportunity. Leveling up. A new version of you that you have to take the first steps to set yourself free from all of the mental patterns that are holding you back from being able to see clearly. Because there's something hovering around in the energy sphere for you that wants to happen, something good, But you're like, no, I'm just going to keep everything how it is, even though it's not even though I've got all these dreams and I want to act on them, but I'm not, because maybe I'm waiting for somebody else to validate them, or I don't know. I'm going to pull a quick clarifier on this. Woo! The cards have been jumpy. Guess they're liking this reading. I hope you like it too. Okay. Yes. So before I said there may be a relationship coming, really what I think this is that you are, there's a little, maybe, there may be relationships in your life that are no longer beneficial, but in this light, there's maybe one or two that really are good partnerships. Drop the weight of other people. Don't distract yourself with it. It's nice to help, but that's distracting you. Helping other people is taking you away from achieving your goals. If you do happen to have, because I still feel with that Two of Cups, that there are beneficial relationships in your life. But if somebody is kind of sucking the life out of you, if you just give and give and give and give, and it isn't an even playing field, it's time to let that relationship go. Perhaps that's what you are struggling. And perhaps that's what you've also created, because you've given too much. I also still think for some of you, you may be getting a lot of input from other people that you don't really care about. You don't really want to hear. It's not particularly helpful, but there is somebody in your life who's got some nice input, or who has something to offer you, perhaps this opportunity. But you have to change your perspective in order to see it. Anyway, those are just some follow-ups for it. I hope that resonates. That's the reading on the dark and the light, and the in-between, and the chiaroscuro of your life. Paint that masterpiece. You're fighting the level up, and you know it. Paint the masterpiece. Take the steps. You're right there. Right there. You're just being your own worst enemy right now. Gotta let go of these old habits. Got to do it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. And we are going to move on to deck number 2. If you chose deck number 2 for your reading, for this pick a card reading, this particular raw stone, this will be the reading for you on what light is going on in your life, what dark is going on in your life, how they are, what's the purpose of both of them, how are they, the gray area, I suppose, and then kind of the purpose of all of it. All right, so in the light in your life, there's some love here, but I'm getting the feeling that there's perhaps you may have slightly detached from the emotional part of you. And this was necessary. This is the light. Even though this sounds unfortunate, it was actually very necessary for you, because I think you were involved in a situation that was very difficult to handle. This is the Six of Wands reversed. Perhaps somebody was treating you in a way that was negative, and as a result, you kind of detached from the emotions, the emotional center within you, in order to survive it. That's a good thing, because you survived it. You did survive, and I think now you're a little bit at the point where you know this, you're aware that this has happened, and you're in the process of reconnecting with that emotional nurturing self, maybe even learning to self-nurture, due to the rough experiences that you had with another that resulted in you having to shut down. A lot of times that comes from abusive people. I'm just saying, if you experience some kind of intense stress or intense abuse, kind of like that, that would cause you to shut the emotional center down so that you could survive it. But now you are in the process of learning to reconnect with that, to nurture yourself, to give yourself the nurturing that somebody else didn't give you when they should have, or maybe they just gave you the complete opposite, and now to rebuild yourself, you need a lot of self-care. That's an amazing thing. It's not, sometimes yourself to heal and rejuvenate, and then to see things more clearly as well, because I suspect when the situation happened, I don't know that you saw things clearly. You may be seeing them clearly now, but there is a little bit of reflection that needs to go on about what happened. Oh my Lord. Oh, I am so sorry that you had to go through this. I think, look at this. We got this is for the darkness. This is the Emperor reversed. This is you or somebody else. But more likely, I feel like this is somebody else who was very authoritative, very much a tyrant. The kind of person who abuses power, perhaps because they don't understand it and they think it makes them strong to beat other people down, is what I'm feeling. It was not pleasant for you. It was a tower. It was a surprise. Perhaps this person initially showed up as very, very passionate and alluring, and there was a spark between the two of you. They were very charming. You thought that there was the potential for some real passion, because there was a big spark. But little did you know that spark actually came from this place of control, and it wasn't passion, but, anger or an angry person, if they're charming about their anger, is very easy to mistake that as passionate, when they're actually just being a dick because they're angry and they're lashing out at other people to make themselves feel better. This is somebody who does not feel secure in their power. Perhaps they have power and they haven't earned it. The kind of person who wants to be the boss, and yet when you let them do it, they fail at everything miserably. And oh, I'm going to pay the bills, and then you let them pay the bills and they don't, and things get cut off, and then they wonder why then they walk around and say, I'm the man, I'm the boss, but they can't even handle little stuff like that. It's that kind of person. I think you are recovering from this, and I also think with this that there was a little bit of a temper. Perhaps, I don't know that it was necessarily violent. It feels a little bit more verbal to me, but there was anger there that this person had that they took out on you. It was rough. It was rough. Partly, I think, because you thought that this person was different than they were. They gave you a very different show. You've got this. You thought it was a great start, a potential partner, potential good person in your life, and then it just kind of crashed and burned. Oh my gosh, 2 Ace of Wands. Oh my gosh. Oh my Lord. All right, so this all happened. You left this situation. You left it. Good job. You left a relationship because you wanted a new start. You wanted something else. So this entire thing happened to teach you about what you want, to send you in a direction, the direction that you need to go. It kind of propelled you a little bit. Maybe you stalled in this relationship and then this momentum built up, but now that it's over, pew, you're going to feel better. You may not be quite feeling it yet, but this whole thing taught you what you want in a relationship. It also showed you you have the strength to walk away, to take care of yourself. And I also think as a result of, because you had to detach from your emotions in the process of reconnecting with them, you're actually going to discover an incredible connection unlike you've had before. I think it's a little bit, there's intuitive, psychic feeling here where perhaps you've always kind of had like ESP or stuff, but now that you're in the process of reconnecting, you're going to see you're capable of more than what you previously thought. So this whole experience was to get you more tapped in and more in alignment. You had to kind of veer out of alignment to get more in alignment, if that makes sense. Because it became glaringly obvious to you where things went wrong, where, you know, what you needed to do. Now you know to heal yourself. I see a little bit of sadness because I feel like maybe you thought that a part of you still wishes it went a little bit differently. Not necessarily because you still wanted that person, but maybe you want to be in a relationship now. And you know what you want in a relationship as well. Let's see what the overall, ooh, yes. It's kind of hard to see in this. This is about lifting up the veil in a way of a deeper connection to alternate dimensions, to your guides, to source, to the universe, whatever, to God, whatever you want to call it. There, a block to that is kind of being lifted, and you are able to hear, to connect, to see. This is a lot about developing those psychic gifts. All of this is happening for you to level up spiritually. And then I can't help but think when I see this card, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a rod being pressed into space, in the grid of space, and kind of deforming the shape of things. When I see this, I often think that like you gain this higher knowledge, this understanding of the non-physical, and as a result you're able to kind of bend the physical to your will. In a way, you learn manifestation in a higher level. You're not actually making anything do anything unnatural, but you kind of figure out how the physical works, and then you are able to make it work for you. So this whole thing, all of that trauma, we're going to just call it trauma, happened for a reason. Because one, it taught you what you want on so many levels. You learned very clearly what you want, which helps a lot with manifestation. Two, you realize perhaps you do want a relationship instead of maybe just like dating and just seeing whatever comes your way. Now you actually actively may want a relationship and can put out there to the world what you want more clearly than ever. I think you've also learned that you have incredible strength. You were able to leave a relationship that you had feelings for somebody you had feelings for, in order to take a new path, to do something that was right for you. Kudos. Amazing. You got some grit. You know this now. Be proud of yourself, of what you've done. Give yourself some credit. It's amazing. Also, number 4, in order to repair the damage internally, emotionally, spiritually that was done, the process of healing is going to open up your intuition, your psychic abilities, your connection to source, to your guides, to other dimensions. It's going to blossom. It's going to get so wonderful. But look at this, it's not like crazy. It's going to be a slow, calming process. All of these things that open up, things will make more sense to you. You'll feel far more balanced. It's going to be amazing when you finally tap in. It's almost like she's an iceberg and you're tapping into that underneath. And maybe that underneath is a mermaid, because maybe that looks like a mermaid tail. but you're gonna find out. I don't know. That's just kind of what that shadow looked like to me. Not sure you're supposed to read that card that way, but that's what's coming out. Mermaid, merman, Zoolander. That might. Oh gosh, please tell me that's not your name. Oh my gosh, if somebody was actually called Zoolander, like on their birth certificate, I'm sorry if your name is Zoolander on your birth certificate. Actually, if it is, let me know. I will send you a present in the mail because I'm laughing about it right now, but good for you. Anyway, you are coming out of your tough period, deck number 2. And there's so much you're going to be learning from this. This is going to be amazing. Whatever the situation was, it may have been a relationship. I'm feeling relationship here. But this also could have been, you know, take it as it resonates with you, an overbearing boss, an overbearing parent, something that was an abusive situation that you walked away from. And as a result, you will benefit tenfold. I think you're starting to see it. I think that you are currently aware of it, but I don't know that you're giving yourself the credit that you need to for what you have achieved, and what you've been through. So I'm here to give you that credit. High five. High frickin' five. That's us giving each other a high five. Good job. This concludes the reading for deck number 2. I hope that makes sense. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for you because you've gone through a dark period, let me tell you. But you're about to enter into something unbelievable and live like a Harry Potter life, basically, of your own creation, because now you're strong enough to stand up for what you want. It's going to be great. Magical. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, click the bell, all that jazz, and I'm going to move on to deck number 3. If you chose deck number 3, this stone, this is going to be the reading for you with regards to what light is going on in your life, what dark is going on in your life, how they combine to create the chiaroscuro, the masterpiece of your life, and then the purpose of all of this. So let's see what's going on with the light. So it looks like you're building something, you're working towards something, probably a little slowly. I suspect it may be involved in your life path. I get the feeling that like the work that you're doing, what you want to create, what you want to build, you're working for it, but it's also working for you. So it's something that seems very fulfilling to you. And something that's going to bring a new light into your life. I think you're taking your time with it. Perhaps you really, really want to plan. Maybe a little bit, you feel like you don't have all of the answers yet to really fully implement what you want to build and put out there into the world. And I think you've really been taking your time with it. There's also, I'm going to pull a clarifier on this one. There's also a sense that you understand that there are maybe limiting belief patterns that you have had about this particular thing, or maybe troubled waters, trouble in implementing this that has also slowed you down a little bit too. It's made you a little bit more cautious. It's okay to be taking your time, but I think you're starting to learn to do it because it feels good, not to do it for those reasons of the past. Maybe you want to start your own business. This feels a little bit entrepreneurial, but there's something you are working at, something you want to implement that you're taking your time at because you don't feel that you have all of the answers, and maybe you don't at this point, so it's okay to be taking your time. And then there's also some things from the past that are kind of coming in and slowing down your progress, which you're also in the process of dealing with. So I think that's all very beneficial. You're basically getting ready to release something out into the world, something you've been working on, and you're going through the phases of developing it, which is very exciting. You're willing to take your time. You've got patience. You've got the work ethic. You know you need a little bit more information, and you also know that there are some limiting beliefs going on in your head that could make doing this a little bit more difficult. So you, in order to kind of circumvent that, you're doing the work needed right now to clear that out of the way, so that when you're ready to release it, it's not in the way. So very good. You're basically prepping to implement whatever it is you've been working towards, which is very exciting. And I see you being in a very good place for that. The dark that's going on in your life is there's an imbalanced relationship somewhere in your life. It is somewhat related to what you want to do. I don't know. It's almost like it's related, but it's a separate thing. So if you were trying to break out and kind of develop your own career path, your own thing, but you're also in another job at the moment so that you can pay your bills, it's not where you want to be. It's not fulfilling, and it's not an unequal exchange. It's kind of an imbalanced thing, and that's taking away a lot of your focus, because it takes a lot of energy for you to wrangle yourself to be able to do it. To have the patience to do it. You've got like all of this. You're willing to work, but over here it's like I gotta force myself to do it in a way. I have to force myself to have the patience with this unequal relationship that's going on. Where over on this side, with whatever you want to develop, there's a lot of flow. Other than whatever you're working on internally, there's not a lot of resistance over there. But you do have this other relationship, other situation going on that is unfulfilling, that is consuming a lot of your energy to be able to be in it, and as a result, it's kind of getting you in your head a little bit too much. It's creating like I don't want to say a mental whirlwind, because the King of Swords is not a mental whirlwind, but I think it's detaching you from what is fulfilling to you, because this dark side is not fulfilling. It doesn't feel good, and you kind of have to exercise a lot of effort in order to be able to function and wrangle it and do it well. But when you spend that amount of energy doing it, you kind of lose the energy for the fulfilling part, and it makes you seem colder to the situation. It gets you very logical and analytical, because perhaps that's what the situation demands, where whatever you're building is based more on something else. Let's get a little bit more detail. Interesting. So this is about you finding your own personal power. So you've got this idea, you really want to do it, you're working toward it. It's fulfilling, it's exciting, it's taking you in a new direction. You've got this other thing that is related, but not that thing, and that's kind of taking your focus elsewhere and causing you to kind of detach from what it is you want to do. So you have to figure out your own personal power. This is the Emperor. You want to lead, you want to guide. And how do you go about doing that? You have knowledge to share. It's interesting because On the good side, though, you're a little bit hung up because you think you don't have enough information. This is suggesting, in a way, that you do. You do have already what it takes to do it, but there is a decision that has to be made. It's like two different sides of the same coin going on here, but they're two different situations, but the same theme is present, and it is your personal empowerment, your ability to lead, your ability to guide. But you have a choice to make. We have two kings here on the side of the on the sides of the emperor, the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. And I think that this is you determining, do you want to go the practical way, or do you want to go maybe the more passionate way? Are you going to play it safe and go slower and keep the finances good kind of thing, keep the security and stability of whatever, maybe the side job, the side project, side relationship, whatever it is, this other thing that's the other side of what you really want? Do you go the practical way? Do you keep the income coming in? Do you keep wrangling yourself and doing something that is not fulfilling and not really true to you and does take a lot out of you, but you get the money and you have the stability? Or do you go your own way with the King of Wands and do what you're passionate about? This is very entrepreneurial. This feels very much like it's job related, but do you go where the passion lies? So you have a choice. And it's up to you. Your own empowerment. You get to choose this. And I think right now you may be leaning a little bit more towards the more practical side, like keeping this side thing while still working on what you want. But there's still this energy here of wanting to do your own thing, wanting to go after that passion, to be the leader and not just be like the master of your physical existence, where you've got your home and your food and everything's good, but you kind of, there's a tear. Do I go for that stability, or do I go for that fire and that adventure? Do I do what I want, or do I keep doing what I don't want so that I have the stability to eventually do what I want? You basically are in the position to decide right now what empowers you more to do what you want, even if you think you're not ready for it, even though I think you are from what these cards are saying. Or do you just take the leap? Do you just go for it and cut out the situations that are distracting you and draining you from being able to do what you want? Or do you continue to go the way of stability, keep the money coming in, then you don't have to worry about it, and eventually through enough hard work you will achieve what you want? Either way, I feel like you're getting what you want. It's just two different ways of going about it. One is going to be a little bit more rapid if you go after your passion and get rid of, it feels a little bit less stable, I got to admit. It's less financially stable, but you have the energy and the power and the excitement in order to be able to do it. So the contrast is showing up because it wants to propel you to do what you want to do. You can feel the pull. You know what you need to do. But whether or not you're ready to take that plunge is up to you. Because this is all about your personal empowerment, you leading, you guiding, you being able to put what you want out into the world and have it help people. This feels very much like helping people. But there is this darkness over here of something else that you're involved in, that whether it's a lopsided relationship, whether it's a lopsided job, there's something else draining your energy and preventing you from connecting to what you find fulfilling because of the intensity of the drain and the intensity of you having to wrangle yourself in order to be functional in that environment. You know, the energy it takes to put on a smile and to be polite in that particular case is very draining because it isn't fulfilling. It isn't what you want. You want something else, and what you want is very light. It's very exciting. See the overall purpose here. Oh my gosh, this is the ultimate manifestation card. So there's an energy around you right now of manifestation. So if this is the time to get rid of a situation that's no longer working for you, that maybe you're just holding on to because logically and practically it makes sense to continue to have that income, now is the time, honestly, to get rid of it, because there's manifesting energy. Where your focus is what's going to happen. Like so hard right now. So do you want to take advantage of that energy and fully devote it to manifesting what you want? Because it'll pop. It will pop. Or are you going to continue to focus on this situation that doesn't feel good, it isn't fulfilling, and by focusing on that, you may end up creating more of it, because right now where your focus is where what you will manifest. And it's almost like by doing what you want, by engaging in this entrepreneurial, passionate, exciting energy, and doing it like a boss, like owning it, you've learned your worth. This uncomfortable situation here has helped you see your worth. Then you're able to create the financial stability that you want quickly. This is King of Pentacles. This is some strong stability, strong work, strong reliability. He's the king of it, So where do you want your focus to be? Because you can have both. You can have both of these in whatever you are creating, whatever you want to work on, and where you feel fulfilled. This is very interesting. Very, very interesting. You've got a big choice to make. What are you going to focus on? Basically, do you want to focus on passion, or do you want to focus on stability? That's pretty much what it's coming down to. What is more important to you? Because what you want is going to manifest. And you can have both, but you have to embrace one to get the other, if that makes sense. If you embrace this energy first, and you get rid of the toxic stuff in your life that is distracting you from what you want to do, you embrace this passionate energy, you have way more time then to dedicate to what you want, to be able to build that, and this comes. If you go this way, this is going to be a little bit slower. If you decide to choose this and you stay in this environment because it provides you with financial stability, even though it sucks all of the energy out of you, it's going to take a lot longer for you to build what you want to build, but eventually you do, and then you are able to take off. So it's just up to you. It's up to you how you want this to go. Because you can have it now, within 2 months, we'll say. That's what I'm feeling. Have it within 2 months, but it might be a little bit of a crazy ride, or it's going to take a lot longer. Because you only have so much energy to give, and if this situation is sucking the energy out of you, then it's going to take you longer to build what you want. If you cut that out, you can build what you want faster, but then short term, you are sacrificing the financial stability or whatever is tied into this situation you're staying in. I've lost my train of thought. I don't even know what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, financial stability. If you choose financial stability, it just takes you longer to build what you want. I would watch where your focus is. So if you do stay in this situation that isn't working for you anymore, even though it is draining you, if you do stay in that, you're going to really, really, really watch where your focus is. Do not focus on how it doesn't feel good, how it's uneven, how much energy it takes away from you. You're going to really have to shift your focus. That's going to help you, because the manifesting energy is all around you. And the more you focus on what you don't want, the more you're going to get that. So, I mean, this is the ultimate manifestation card in this oracle deck. This is crazy manifestation energy. Like the kind of thing where you ask for something and within 24 hours you get it, and you're like, wow, this has never happened to me before. This is crazy. That kind of energy. It's just working for you right now. So use it. And it's up to you to decide. From a place of empowerment, think about what you want. What is good for you. And how do you get where you want to go. And figure that out. There isn't a wrong answer. I would, if you do stay in this situation, really watch your focus. Seriously, because the only wrong answer I'm seeing here is if you stay in this situation and you're doing both, you know, so that you can build what you want, but you have the financial stability. This situation is going to prevent you from doing what you want if you're not focused in the right way, because you will manifest more of it. So watch your focus. Do meditations, do whatever you can to get a better attitude about this situation, because you're not going to be in it forever. Let's face it. This is suggesting you're going to be going and doing your own thing. It's just a matter of how you choose to do it. So if you do stay, you really have to watch your focus, because otherwise you could manifest more of this instead of manifesting more of what you want. So do what you need to do. Do what's right for you. I do not see one way or the other as better. If you are capable of holding the correct focus in an environment that you don't particularly like, but you're cool, you're able to stay aligned and focus on the right stuff and stay happy and stay empowered because you're giving that to yourself, then that could be a way for you. But if this situation, this contrast, if it's too unfulfilling, if it's too much of an energy drain, and that's where all your focus goes, you won't be able to create what you want. So if you aren't able to do that in this situation will continue to take away from the direction that you want to go. And you won't feel empowered. You won't feel like you're going for what you want. So that would be my only warning with that, is that watch the focus. There's a tightrope here. You know, if you want this stability and you want to keep this side thing, or whatever this is, that it's providing you with stability, which is why you're still dealing with the unfulfillment and why you're still allowing yourself to be in it. If you want to stay there, you gotta watch your focus. Gotta watch it. In fact, that'll speed things up as well. You know, you can have this stability, but if you're focused in the right way, it will become less draining, and you can still develop what you want to develop. But if you can't keep that focus where it should be, my suggestion would be to let this go and embrace the fire energy and put all of your energy into creating what you want. And it's going to happen quickly because you're in manifesting mode. So that is the reading. Wow. That's cool. Like, you're really close to really embracing your own personal power and really taking off in your life. And you get to choose how you want to do it. How fast you want it to happen. Whatever you want is what's going to happen right now. So if you don't know what you want, perhaps there's some journaling exercises you can do. You'll need to do maybe some reflection to really hone your focus on what you want. Because, woo-wee, use that energy. It's just free flowing right now. Love it. That manifestation energy. All right, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to move on to deck number 4. If you chose deck number 4 for your reading, this is going to be the reading for you on what dark is going on in your life, what light is going on in your life, kind of how they combine to be the chiaroscuro, the masterpiece of your life, and then the overall purpose of this situation. All right, so the light in your life is very interesting. There was a conflict, or there is a conflict in your life that it hasn't been resolved, but you are letting go of. So the light in your life is that you're no longer letting this situation control your life anymore. There, you know, you've got this conflict. This guy's even like walking on stilts. You know, this conflict that was going on in your life, this fight, this argument, this battle, had you not really functioning appropriately in your life. Maybe, you know, the instability of it caused you to feel like you're walking around on stilts. It actually impacted other areas of your life. However, it is not resolved. We have the world reversed, or you're not getting the resolution that you want, and you won't with the Five of Swords, because that's not a conflict that anybody wins. Everybody loses with the Five of Swords because it's an ego battle. Nobody is going to win in that situation. And I think you've started to realize that, and you're no longer letting it dictate your life. You're letting go of it. You're letting go of how it hurt you. You're letting go of everything that situation has created in your life that was negative. You're releasing it and letting it go. And you're no longer seeking the resolution. You're no longer worrying about it anymore, because you understand that the resolution you seek isn't going to come. And in fact, I think you're just kind of tired of it. You're tired of the fighting. You're tired of the teetering. You're tired of it consuming your life. So you're taking your life back and you're letting it go. And it's, in a way, it's freeing you. I think by doing this, you're starting to see that the storm is passing. Perhaps that you were even creating a storm in your life that didn't even need to be there, and now without it, things really calming down. That was the light in your life. Now for the dark in your life, I think for the dark in your life, I see some pretty severe overthinking. There's a lot of swords in this, so you're definitely in your head. And I think there is in a way, you're kind of overthinking things, and in a way, you kind of you're stuck in a dream a little bit, kind of like your head kind of lost in the clouds in a way, where the dream of one. Okay, so though you understand you need to let go of the situation, over here, the dark of it, there's still some involvement in it. Because I think on some level, you're either expecting somebody to come in and save the day, or you're stuck in kind of the dream of being able to get the answer that you want. Either you think you have this illusion that somebody's going to come in and hand you the answer, the one clear answer to the situation. When over here, you're starting to see that there isn't one. You're not going to get that, but part of you is still attached to, I want this one answer. There's one justice. There's one way forward, one truth. You kind of want somebody to give it to you. You're looking for somebody else to give you the peace, to give you the answer, to give you the satisfaction. And there's also this dream kind of you're holding on to, that you're almost obsessed with this idea that by whomever giving you this truth, this clarity, then everything's gonna stop. You think that one truth is gonna help you get out of this. It's gonna make the overthinking stop and make the pain stop. This is the darkness. So this is a mentality that is hurting you. It's creating chaos in your life. There is overthinking. This card, I feel, is very dual, because though you think that somebody's going to come in, you may hope that somebody comes in and gives you the one truth, and then all the worry falls away. But I think at the same time, you are obsessing over this, of wanting somebody to set you free, when this is something that is very internal to you. This is something that you have to do for yourself. You have to let go of the idea that you're going to get the closure you want because I don't think the closure you want is coming, and let it go. And then you are set free. You are aware of this, but there's still a part of you. There's still a mentality of wanting somebody else to fix it for you, is what I'm feeling here. And in addition, that there is one truth to this situation. And I'm feeling like this is a messy situation. Lots of swords over here. There isn't one truth. And this holding on to this idea that you're going to get the justice, you're going to get the clarity, you're going to get the closure, and somebody's going to give it to you. Somebody externally of you is going to give it to you, and everything's going to go away. Everything's going to get better. That is not how it's going to work. It comes from you. So you got to let go of this mentality, because you are, in a way, sabotaging yourself. You're sabotaging your ability to let it go and move on. The way out of the darkness that you've been in, there is a way out. That is happening here. The darkness you've been in, but you can climb out of it. It's going to happen, actually. It can happen relatively quickly if you put the proper effort into it. And I think what happens here is that you've got to get control over your mind and your perspective. Strength. This is my favorite card of this deck. You've got to wrangle those thoughts and wrangle that lion. All the anger, all the instinctive, animalistic responses, the anger, the fighting, the emotion about this situation, about all the things that have hurt you, all the darkness that you've been in. You got to let it go, because in a way, it's almost like that darkness, you feel like somebody else has done it to you, but then at the same time, you expect somebody else to fix it. It's very strange. It's darkness you've allowed yourself to be subjected to, and that you have to be able to wrangle yourself to get out of. And yet you keep wanting somebody else to fix it. And until you realize that your role that you played in all of this, and start to get control of yourself, it's just going to continue. You can get yourself pretty rapidly out of this darkness. But you have to wrangle your head. The Queen of Swords. And I think even in a way, this sounds very dramatic. But I think, it's time to leave the emotions at bay in this situation. I think maybe your emotions have been fueling things, and there is a logical and rational way forward. It's also, I think, finding your truth, because you want somebody in the darkness, you want somebody to give you the light, but until you realize that the light is within you, that's where it is. It's in you. Nobody's going to give it to you. It's in you already. And once you wrangle your head, your emotions, you get yourself under control, you're able to see the strength that you actually do have, and you start pulling yourself out of the darkness. But this kind of mentality of expecting somebody else to come in and save you, that's not going to happen. You have to save yourself here. And even if it were to happen, that's only going to fuel the negative thought patterns that you have going on, where you are not relying on yourself. There is a strength that you have that you are not tapping into. And this is getting so uncomfortable for you in order for you to really tap into it. Because if you want out of that hole, if you want a better life, you have to do it. You have to learn that you have the light in you. And that the truth you're looking for resides within you, not externally. And only once you calm your emotions, once you get yourself under control, are you able to see the truth within you and then move forward authentically. The overall purpose of this is the Bull Guide. Oops, jumping. This is about learning your inner strength. This is also about setting boundaries and keeping them. I think that this has to do with setting boundaries for yourself more than anything. Because you seem to have kind of run amok, kind of out of control. I don't think it's really out of control, but the way that you've been thinking, the way that you react to things, you don't have any boundaries on how you can react to things. You know, like when I get mad, which is rare, but if I get angry, I have a boundary for myself where I am not going to engage with anybody when I am in that state. I need to leave the situation and I need to calm down. And that might take 5 days, but that's what needs to happen, because in that state of anger, nothing's getting solved. So you have to respect your own boundaries for how you're going to react and respond to things. Because I suspect the way that you've reacted in the past has actually fueled whatever situation it is that has hurt you. You know, you feel unsteady. So provide yourself with some stability for Christ's sake, because you're so close. The whole purpose of this is to get you out of the darkness, but you have to learn your own value, your own strength, and set some boundaries for yourself and keep them. Set some boundaries for other people. I think this may also have to do with other people in this particular situation that has hurt you, where there isn't closure. If those people are still involved in your life, there's new boundaries that need to be set, and then you've got to stick to them. Because what you want has value. And I would say right now, you may not know this yet, but what you want is inner peace. I don't think you realize that yet, and it's probably not going to resonate with you. But because I see here in this line that there's a lot of focus on the stress and the discomfort and the ways people have hurt you. But I think what really, truly, energetically you are seeking is to know your own strength, to get yourself out of this hole, and find the light inside. Speak your truth. However, that does not mean speak your truth in some rash manner. When you've got to be really calm, you've got to get everything under control. Nobody is going to give you the truth. You have to find the truth within yourself. And then set the boundaries accordingly so that you can live your life according to your truth. But whatever this toxic situation is, you know you've got to let it go. And that's the light in your life. You're not seeing, you are so in the dark. I don't think that you are seeing the benefit of letting go of everything that anybody has ever done to you. Let it go. You're not going to find the closure that you want, and you can't keep moving forward in life blaming your own inner instability on not having received the closure that you want from the way somebody else has hurt you. You got to let it go. You have to own yourself. This is very much about other people, and I think your attention needs to come in and start doing some inner and personal work, because you are going to be the one that gets you out of this hole. Nobody's coming in to save you. And this is just kind of how life works. You know, you're about to learn the depth of your strength, and I don't think you know how strong you are. Part of the reason you want somebody to come in and save you, I think, is because you don't know that you actually have what it takes to save yourself. And that's a pretty powerful thing when you learn that you could do that. It's very freeing and very empowering. You know, this person's climbed out of the hole and she's standing there looking down like, yeah, I did it. You know, look at what I conquered in myself too. This is going to involve some personal reflection though. You can't keep putting the onus on other people. You have to understand the role that you played in all of this, and start gaining control of yourself. You know, quit using these uncomfortable things as an excuse to behave just however you want. Oh, because you're hurting people too in the meantime. If you're acting out of control and you're acting from this place, you're going to be hurting people as well. But it isn't justified because somebody else hurt you. That's a mentality you got to get over. There's a lot of growth that needs to happen here. However, I know I'm ragging on you. Should you choose to accept the mission, your life will change in a way, and you will live a quality of life you've never had before, because you chose to do what you needed to do for you. You set the boundaries for you and you held to them. You set the boundaries for other people and you held to them. You learned to control yourself. You learned to decide, you know, maybe this uncomfortable thing did happen to me, but I don't want to hold on to it anymore because it's controlling my life, and it happened 10 years ago and it's still in my life, and it's time to let it go because I want to live now. You know, I don't want to waste any more time obsessing over this stuff. I gotta let it go because I want my life, instead of my life to be about something that happened 10 years ago or happened 1 year ago or happened whatever. Live your life for now. Live your life for you. And that's going to be a strange concept for you. I feel living your life for you. It's going to be very empowering, and I think that that's going to be a weird feeling for you because you're used to putting the onus on other people. But it's going to set you free, and you'll be able to live a quality of life that you haven't had before. It's going to be really exciting. You're really going to get to know yourself. You're really going to understand what you're made out of. And it's going to be great. You're going to see how amazing you are at a level you didn't even know possible. And as a result, you will know your own worth better and be able to create the life you want instead of letting people run over you or letting you run over you and you becoming your own worst enemy because you aren't exercising the self-discipline to wrangle yourself. This is great. Should you choose to accept the mission, your life is really going to improve. Let me tell you. It's going to change drastically. So I hope you do. I hope you change the mission, or you accept the mission. This message will not self-destruct in 30 seconds. I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind. Alright, anyway, you can do it. You got grit you don't even know about. It's amazing. Things are going to get so much better for you if you do. Anyway, thank you for watching deck number 4. Good luck to you, and please like, share, subscribe if the reading resonated with you, and thank you for watching.